Welcome back to Around the Armstrong Table. Happy Father's Day. This was my Father's Day challenge. And here's what I came up with. A spiced pork tenderloin with a blueberry bourbon barbecue sauce and some delicious sides. Can't wait to show you this one. My wife and daughter gave me some great ingredients, and the ingredients were blueberries, cherry tomatoes, also some frozen shredded potatoes, and a pork tenderloin. The first thing I'm going to do is butcher my pork tenderloin, and then I'm going to get that seasoned with just salt. I want to dry brine this for a minimum of an hour, but best results obviously will be 24 hours, but I'm going to let this one go for about 4 hours or so. So now that I got the pork tenderloin in the refrigerator and that's dry brining and marinating, the next thing I'm going to do is work on the potatoes. And I decided to make a potato cake. Now, based on the rules of the challenge, I can use whatever we have in our house. One of the things I needed for the potato cakes was some eggs. Unfortunately, we used the eggs for breakfast this morning, so I didn't have any. So I'm going to get this seasoned up with a little bit of Cajun seasoning. Then I'm going to also add some garlic powder, some onion powder, and some cornstarch. And I just want to get that all mixed together. Next, I'm going to bring in some garlic paste, and I just want to find a way to use different things as a binder. I also had some Gruyere cheese in the fridge, so I'm going to get that shredded up and mixed in there as well. And then I'm going to finish this off with a little bit of heavy cream. And the heavy cream is going to act as my binder since I don't have the eggs. And then also the cornstarch is going to help all of these ingredients come together. We'll finish that off with some chives, and the chives is going to add that nice oniony note to this, and then we're going to get these guys fried up. But before I get them fried up, I'm going to put them in my freezer and let them kind of come together, and then I'm going to fry them up a little bit later. All right, so let's talk about these blueberries. Here's what I think I'm going to do with these. Let's talk about these. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a blueberry bourbon barbecue sauce. And that's going to pair up with the pork tenderloin. I'm still trying to figure out the tomatoes, but I got an idea for those. Maybe a tomato chutney or something like that, but I think that's two sauces that are contrasting each other. So I'm going to work on that. But I think the blueberries, I got them down. So stay tuned. With the blueberries set to go, here's the plan. Add the blueberries to a pot. Then I'm going to add in some apple cider vinegar. I'm also going to add in brown sugar. I'm adding a little bit of that What's That Here sauce or Worcestershire sauce. And of course I'm going to add in some bourbon. I'm going to add the bourbon a little bit later. And I'm going to add a couple other ingredients as well. To get it a little bit sweeter, I'm going to add some honey. And then I'm going to come in with that bourbon. And I want to get that cooked down, okay? And to finish it off, what I did, I added a little bit of barbecue sauce to this as well. And I want to concentrate those flavors, bring it up to a boil, and then get that delicious, beautiful barbecue sauce at the end. Absolutely delicious. Next, we're going to focus on the tomatoes. So this is where I really had a problem. I didn't know what to do with the tomatoes and how to make them work with the dish. So I figured, you know what? I need a vegetable element to this dish. So what I decided to do, I had some squash and zucchini in my fridge. I said, let me get those chopped up. Then I cut up some shallots, and I said, I'm going to turn the tomatoes into a sauce and let the vegetables roast in that tomato sauce. So it's going to add a little bit of sweetness. There's going to be some tartness, and you know how tomatoes are, but you season them up the right way, it's just going to work perfect. So added some salt and pepper. I chopped up the cherry tomatoes, poured in the shallots, and basically I just want to get these guys into a pan, okay? So once I get them into a pan, I'm going to add in a little bit of sherry with that, and that just works absolutely beautiful with this dish. Put a little bit of garlic paste in, And then what I'm gonna do, once that's all cooked up, I'm actually gonna add it to my food processor. So, and then when I get it in the food processor, I'm gonna add a little bit of chicken broth. Also added some Worcestershire sauce, and then also some crushed red pepper flakes, okay? So we're gonna get that blended up, and it's gonna become this nice sauce, okay? And then once the sauce is formed, what I'll do is I'll start to cook up the vegetables. I'm gonna get those sauteed for just a second, throw them into my oven, okay? Not right now, but I'll throw them into my oven after I ladle in the sauce. And I'm gonna let that roast in the oven for about 25 to 35 minutes. And that's the process. So now that the veggies are done, they look absolutely delicious. They're gonna go on the plate perfectly. So now we gotta get our seasoning for the pork tenderloin. So here's what I did. I took some ancho chili, some regular chili, some smoked paprika, some garlic powder, and some onion powder. Also added in some salt. Even though I salted the outside of the pork tenderloin, I still want to make sure I get the outer side, but I put less salt than I normally would. Okay, so about half a teaspoon. You don't need a whole lot because it's already been dry brining in the fridge and it's perfect. So what I want to do is get the pork tenderloin. I'm going to sear this off after I get it trussed with some butcher's twine. Okay, so I'm going to take some butcher's twine and get that all put together. So in a pan, I've added a little bit of avocado oil, some butter, and we're going to sear this guy off, and we're going to get him in the oven. But to make sure I don't overcook this beautiful pork tenderloin, I'm going to use my meter probe, okay? If you guys don't know what a meter probe is, it's a wireless thermometer. It works with your iPhone or your Android. It is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love this thing, okay? So I got that in the oven. Let's get to these potato cakes. So now that they've been frozen and they've been in the freezer for a little bit, we're gonna get those fried up. And I mean, come on, man, take a look at that. That looks absolutely delicious. Perfect golden brown. I'm gonna get those onto a plate with a napkin and get those guys put aside so we can get everything assembled. But look at this beautiful pork tenderloin. Just wait for it. I'll be quiet for a second. Look how beautiful that is. Now let's get this dish plated up. Again, I want to thank my wife and my daughter. They executed this challenge to perfection. And I'm so excited to be able to bring you this beautiful, beautiful dish. I think it came out absolutely perfect. And I hope you guys try to cook it for yourself.
All right, guys. So the challenge is officially over. And again, let's recap just real quickly. I had blueberries, shredded potatoes, frozen potatoes. Also had cherry tomatoes, and pork tenderloin was my ingredient. So here's what I came up with. I made a blueberry bourbon barbecue sauce and put that over top of a spice rub pork tenderloin with some potato cakes. And then I took the cherry tomatoes and actually made a sauce to cook some veggies in. And so it's almost like a ratatouille in my opinion, but this is the dish I came up with. I can't wait to taste it, and I think it's gonna be good. All the components seem to be doing well, so actually I'm gonna start with the potato. Perfect crunch, delicious. And then let's go for the veggies. So the veggies still have a bite to them. They're very delicious. And you can taste the tomato sauce, or cherry tomato sauce if we want to emphasize that. And then I showed you guys a picture of the inside of this pork tenderloin. It is super tender, but get a little bit of that barbecue sauce. Oh man, you taste the blueberries, you taste the bourbon, you get all the spices, and it all comes together in like one harmonious dish is the best way I can put it. I look forward to doing this challenge again. Thank you to my wife and my daughter. Obviously without them, I would not be a father, so I'm blessed to have them. I'm looking forward to the next challenge next year. and can't wait to see what they put in front of me then. Thank you guys so much for watching.